And so my session is on the needs validation process model. And I have somebody, I like doing practical. Eric Joshua is joining me from Ghana. And so we are both going to do this session today. Hello, Eric.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Great. So just ensure that you're ready when I call you. So I want to talk about the needs validation process model. Eric Joshua Safaro. Eric, did I get that right? Eric, did I get your name right?
Yes, you did. Eric Joshua
Safaro. Eric sent us an email. Then my staff, Kamsi, reached out to me and said, there was an email that was sent to us. I've never met Eric. We've never met Eric. And he wrote a long email. I wish I could read out the email, but there's no time to read out the email. He gave us justification why he thinks I should listen to him, that we should listen to him. And Eric sent us an email saying he has watched our 30 videos on YouTube. He said, or let me allow Eric to say what he said, right? Eric, over to you, please. Say what you shared with us when we met before I continue.
So what I shared with Sandra was that I had gone through the 30 webinars on YouTube because I couldn't really make it to the live YouTube sessions and I had other commitment, but I made sure I watched every session and actually answered a lingering question that I had, why we run trainings and we don't see the results of the training. The training seems to go well. Melanie talked about the sentiments that we have. We get good sentiments. People say, where have you been? I should have listened to you like ages ago. We do all the trainings, but after the training, what do we see? Nothing happens. The training is not transferred. And if transfer happens, it's not effective and it's not sustainable. And the TTE model and then the operating system was the answer to my questions. And so I really consumed the videos and decided to actually also implement it. And in the implementation, what I decided to do was to do like a small survey to see how it works. And so
let me pause you, Eric.
What we did was,
Eric, let me pause you.
All right.
You've gone too far. Let's take them slow by slow. So Eric,
sure.
How can somebody watch over 30 videos on YouTube? On our YouTube channel. So if you've not gone to our YouTube channel, please go there. You already have it on the platform. Go and watch the videos. Eric watched all those videos, and that is what I'm supposed to talk about just the MVP. I'm not going to talk about the PDP because there's no time, right? And I didn't want to be the only one talking throughout the conference. It won't make sense. So I'll talk only about the MVP. If you want more, go to YouTube. It's free. Watch the videos. Now, the needs validation process model is where we begin. Funto, can they see the slides? There's no slides showing. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I could as well speak through this, but I know there are some people that are visual learners. And when I say visual learners, they want to see what you're saying. And so that's why I would share this. Because this is a work of 14 years, so I can talk without even watching the slides. We start from the beginning. Where is the beginning? When it comes to return on investment and return on expectation, where is the beginning? Let me ask. When it comes to ROI and ROE, where is the beginning? Please, ushers, go around with microphone. Anybody, where is the beginning? Where is the beginning? For you to be able to see ROI and ROE, where do you think is the beginning? Microphone, please. I also need somebody here. No, both of you can stay. I need somebody here. Someone in front. So where is the beginning?
Pre-training.
Pre-training. She said that there's a beginning, pre-training. Is that the beginning? No, that's not the beginning. Where is the beginning? People, no, that's not the beginning. Where's the beginning? Let's say, sorry? Identifying the gaps. So you already know the gaps, right? You already know the problem. So you've known the problem. So what's the next step? So that's why where is the beginning? So you know the problem.
Implementation.
No, not implementation.
Objectives.
The solution.
Objectives, right?
Objectives, no.
Success metrics.
No.
The solution.
Pre-training evaluation, no. Analyzing what you're expecting after the training, no.
Defining your success.
Defining your success, no. There's a performance issue. Maybe like a supervisor, you found out that you want to send him on communication training. Maybe they reach out to your HR and L&D, and a supervisor reached out to you and said, we need these supervisors to be sent on communication training. Now, so where's the beginning? What do you now do? I hope that gives you a bit of context. So let's hear you.
Determining if you really need that training. If training is needed, assessing, talking with the stakeholders.
A round of applause, please. Please, can we give you a round of applause? You people have already jumped it. Those are saying needs assessment. How do you know it's training? Those are saying needs assessment. Those are saying implementation, evaluation. No, you've jumped it. The first step, the beginning is we have this performance gap, this issue. And the supervisor tells you, I want to send my people on communication training. Where's the beginning? The beginning is to determine, is that really a communication training? Is that really what the supervisor wants for his people? That's the beginning. And someone said, I think we have a topic like that, from order takers to strategic partners. You better ensure you join that concurrent session. No, what will happen to other ones? Okay, no, please join. No, so just decide which you want to join. So order takers is, we want a communication training, and you start sourcing for people like myself, Amara, Venerable, and all that to come and take the training. That's not the beginning. At the end, this is what happens to your organization. This is what happens to that training. Is there anything? These are beautiful buildings. What made them collapse? Let me hear. What made them collapse? I'm hearing someone say anything. I don't agree with that. Is there anything that made that building collapse? Buildings are collapsing in Lagos, in Nigeria. What made them collapse? Foundation. It's part of the foundation, sir. Okay, I'm not an engineer. I'm not an engineer. But we know that. Sir, don't go into detail. That's not what we are saying. Don't go into we are not engineers now. I'm sure you all know what I'm saying. We are not engineers. What we are trying to say is most often when we hear a building collapse, what they will say is the foundation. And where I'm coming to is why your training will not deliver RA and RA is because of the foundation. I've asked you about effective communication. You're already talking about needs analysis. You're talking about evaluation. It will collapse. That's not the first place. The first thing to do is to determine and you're going to do it as an exercise before you go for lunch. If you don't finish it, you have to finish your own before you go for lunch. We'll do it as an exercise to help you apply. We are talking about application. So the first thing is to determine, is this really a training need? Is it a training need? Go to the next one. Thank you. So the problem starts with assuming that training is the solution for every performance issue. I'm sure you hear there's a performance and send them on training. Performance gap, send them on training. Performance issue, send them on training. Most often, what we hear is send them on training, send them on training. But we know as HR and L&D that most times it may not be a training issue. It may not be a training. It may not be training that will solve that gap we are talking about. And that's what we talk about the needs validation process model. The needs validation process model is a four-step approach. It's a four-step approach. And the essence of the needs validation process model is to help you to validate if that performance gap, if that challenge, if that issue is. Now, it does three things. One, is either is a training intervention, a non-training intervention, or an integrated approach of a training intervention and a non-training intervention. I will take that again. What the NVP does, it does three things. One, it tells you if that performance gap or performance issue is a needs intervention. Secondly, it tells you either it's a it's a training intervention, or it's a non-training intervention. Then the third thing it does, it tells you if it is an integrated approach. Either it is both a training intervention and a non-training intervention. And we have seen it. I have people here in this class that will give you live examples. So sometimes we find out that performance gap is a training intervention. Good, we send them on training. Sometimes we find out that it's not a training intervention. That is a non-training intervention. And now we put those things in place. And we've been hearing it since. Is that it's a process issue? Is that it needs coaching? Is that it needs mentoring? Is that you need to even change a person's job? Or even to change the person's department? Dr. Aki, just that there was no time, has shared such story during LBS. Because if you send that person for training, this problem will continue. Because training really wasn't the problem. Then sometimes we found out that that's one performance gap or issue. You have to use two things to kill it. One, send the person on training. Secondly, also a non-training intervention. Those are the solutions to that problem. And so what does the NVP do? It helps you to make sure that it prevents misaligned training investments. I've just talked about that by validating whether training is indeed the solution to the problem, the best intervention, or there are alternative strategies, just like what I said. Now, these are the key pillars. Validation. It validates it. We use data. I think someone said data is, what is that? Is it data is live? Data is what? Live. There's a word, I think there's a saying like that. Data is live. And there's somebody that discussed and talked about data is a new oil. Okay, there's another one now. Data is a new oil. Data does not lie. I hope you know that. Data will not lie. When you collect the right data, it will not lie. You cannot make an assumption. You need to use data. And you cannot go to a CEO that knows, like I'm sure, this Nigeria, that's why I don't used to call people. I heard what you said, Amara. Amara is asking if it is MTN or Airtel. I did not. We have CEOs here in our midst. You can even ask them. If people come to you and owners of businesses without data and they just say, we think that our customers are not happy because we are not just helping them. What does that mean? Assumption. And so that's what the needs validation process model does. It helps you to validate. Then it helps you to gather insights. Because I'm going to show you the 4 process and you will do it. Please take note of those 4 processes because the case study, you have to do it with those 4 processes. What this will do is so that when you get back to your organization, you can start it. We are not just talking. So please, what's that word? Humor me and just do this case study. It will help you. So when you go back, you start doing it. You stop being an order taker. You will hear that during the session. So it helps you to gather insights. Then it helps you to eliminate training waste. We've talked about that. It enhances return on investment and return on expectation. It prevents misdiagnosis. It optimizes resource allocation. So by implementing the MVP, organizations gain clarity on whether to invest in training, alternate interventions, or a blended approach. That every initiative drives real sustainable performance improvement. Now, I'm going to tell you why I said, some people say every training cannot give you RI and ROE. I don't agree. I'm of the school of thought that every training investment you undergo, you can prove return on investment and return on expectation. Who wants to follow me with that school of thought? Okay, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some say, how can I follow you? I still don't even know how to do it. How will I now follow? Maybe after today you will know. I'm of that school of thought. Every training investment will show you return on investment and return on expectation. And we've been seeing it happen. So these are the 4 steps in validation process model. The first one is having a conversation with the training sponsor. Now that supervisor that came to tell you said, I want you to send my people on communication training. Instead of going to source for vendors like myself and the trainers here, the first thing to do is to have a conversation with that person. You want us to send your people on supervisors on effective communication training. What? Why? Why do you want them to go on effective communication training? What is the business issue you want to solve? Based on the strategic objective in your organization, in your department, which you should know at least a bit of it, how will this help those people? These are conversations you should have. How many people have been having such conversations? Let me see your hands up, please, in your various organizations. If you've been having such conversations, then you're in class, don't put your hand up. Don't put your hand up. You're in mastermind class. That's why you've been able to do that. Any person? 1, 2, 3, just 3 people. Or let me count Ben, even though she had to come to the class. So Ben, I'm so sorry, you're part of it. That's 4. So 4 people. That's the conversation you should first have. You have a conversation with the training sponsor means it could be 2 levels of training sponsors. Now let me explain what I mean. Sometimes the divisional head is telling HR that they want training for what? The supervisors on effective communication. Hope you know that the divisional head, there is a line manager that is reporting to the divisional head. And there are people, the supervisors are reporting to the line manager, who is reporting to the divisional head. But now, who is asking for it? The divisional head is asking for the effective communication. So now, who will be our training sponsor? Who will be our training sponsor? The divisional head will be the training sponsor. However, are we going to remove the line managers? So that means we are talking to both the divisional head and the line manager. Have you noticed that sometimes even the line manager doesn't know that his people should go on effective communication training? The divisional head, what did he see? And he's saying that, he bounced the line manager and he said they should go for effective communication. I mean, which effective communication? My people are communicating very well. My people are communicating very well. Why is Oga saying they should go on? But there's something Oga has seen. And that is why he's telling line manager that may I not have seen it, that let your people go on effective communication. But you will never know if you don't sit down and have that conversation. So the first step is having the conversation with the training sponsors. And you're going to get the slides. The essence is to clarify the purpose. All these are long story. The objectives of the step you get, there are tools to use again. You don't need, because you cannot use all these tools now. You just use one. Have conversation. Let's have that conversation, because that's what you will do now. Because of time, there are so many tools you could use that I have tested and my clients are using that I will share with you. All those that attended this, even those virtually, right? We'll share this with you. So these are some tools you could use. Now, step 2. Let's go to step 2. Now, you've had that conversation with the training sponsor and you've gathered data. Please, when having that conversation, what should you do? Take notes, because that's how you're gathering data. Whatever this training sponsor is saying, you're taking note of what the training sponsor is saying and noting it down. Now, after that, those supervisors that the divisional head said, I want them to go on effective communication training, have a conversation with them. We've had issues whereby the people that were earmarked for the training, they sent me, exactly, we don't need that training. Why are they saying we should go for that training? Madam, last 3 months, we just went for that training and they want us to go for another one. It's also very possible that Oga's friend that's been to Oga that you've not given me training for a long time. He now remembers, hi, okay, my supervisors can go for effective communication training. Send me proposal, just send proposal, we'll do it for you. Supervisors that want to rest, that went for training last 3 months, they are sending them another one. You can see how we are wasting organization resources. Wasting it and wasting it. There are some organizations that want to, I don't know, is there any organization here that wants to waste resources, please? Are you sure? But there are some that want to waste their resources. Is there any organization here that wants to waste resources? So the next step is having that conversation with those earmarked for that training. Now, you already have a data of what you discussed with training sponsors. You've been sent on effective communication training. Why do you think they are sending you on this training? Someone say, I don't know. You tell me now. Why are they sending me? So, but I'm sure you should have. Didn't they have a conversation with you? Some will say they did not have any conversation. I'm hearing it for you from the first time that you go on effective communication. So these are things, so you need to dig to find out. Sometimes we find out that they said, we don't need the training. So you need to now go back. But let's take the first step. Let's take it that they need the training, right? Let's take it like that. So the second step is having a conversation with those that have been marked for the training. You gather data. Everything they are saying, you're noting it down. I think what we are going to also do, a case study we did, we are going to remove the name of the company. I will send that as a case study to you. We'll send you the data of the conversation we had, what they said. Each stage, we'll send it. Kamsi, please remind me. We will send it. So we'll just remove the name of the company and send it to you. Our report we gave them, we'll send it to you. At least maybe that would also help you from there. So after having that conversation with those earmarked for that training, the third step is what? Root cause analysis. First of all, these are the objectives of having the conversation: to articulate their daily challenges, to gain insight into the root causes of these challenges, explore perception of potential solutions, gain first-hand insight. There are so many reasons why we have this conversation. These are the objectives. Then these are the tools you also use. Then the third one is the root cause analysis. The data you got from having conversation with the training sponsor and the data you got from having conversation with those earmarked for that training. Who are those that like data here? Only few people. Now compare, look at it and compare. What did the training sponsor say? What did those earmarked for training say? Is it correlating? Is it the same thing? Are they really agreeing that they need to go for that training? Are they really agreeing that really is a training issue? One of the people, the company we worked with, the people that were earmarked for the training, they said, is our supervisor, that one that sent us on the train, he's the one that is the problem. Yeah. You will hear things when you speak to this employee. He said he's the one that, he said send them on train. They said, how can 10 people be wrong? I don't know. We feel from data will not lie. 10 people saying the same thing, we carried it like that, they are not lying. How can all of them say it's their supervisor that is the problem? And the supervisor is saying send them on training. He said when they joined this thing, they did not give them templates. Then how can he say they don't know how to sign proposal? Which templates would they use to do the proposal? Like I said, there's a particular template in the department, but we've not seen it. So how do you want them to now send the proposal with the template? And he said something. He tells us, he says we are too slow. How won't we be slow, madam? We have to start going to ChatGPT to start looking for how to. When we do it, you use red marker. And line managers, you use red marker, but you will not explain why that red marker is. You just leave it like that. When I say line managers, even you HR that people are reporting to you, or the line managers I'm also talking to, because some of you do that. You just use red marker and red, and yet you not tell the person why you did that underline. Some of you will circle it with red and put one question mark. So with that, the third step, which is the root cause analysis, you determine what exactly is the issue here. With that, we now go to the last step, which is a need analysis report. So from there, you're able to now come up with a report. See, please take note. One of the people in our classes, in one of our mastermind, I don't know if the person will be able to share. We have those in our mastermind that you don't put in your own view in that report. Please take note. Yes, you don't put in your own view. It is based on the data that you got, that you interpret based on the data. So with one of the person that did that, the person put in his, the person put in his or her own, right? So by the time the person puts it in, I say you are making your own assumptions. Work on the data you have. And so with that data, I was able to work with the person and we interpreted it based on what the person gave. Do not put your own interpretation in what you're doing. So at the end, you come up with a need analysis report. And what does this need analysis report do? It says three things. Is either you're saying this is a training intervention and you list based on the report, these are the reasons why it's a training intervention. Or is a non-training intervention based on the data you got from level 1 and level 2 and the root cause analysis. This is why you're saying it's a non-training intervention. Or It is both a training intervention and a non-training intervention. That is the MVP. Questions before we go into our case study? Anybody that has any question?
There are times that the surveys you send out may not capture all the information you want to get. There are even some times when you discuss with the managers, the interviews, it may not still capture on the information you want to get. There's something called observation in data science, whereby you yourself, you have to go there and spend some time with them and observe.
Let me pause you. Who is you? HR and L&D or the line manager?
I mean like the person working on the data himself, the person analyzing the results.
Yours is just to analyze.
Yes.
Right?
You still need to sometimes to go there, observe and pay attention to details that may have been missed during the interview.
Are you the line manager and are you the person they are reporting to?
No. I'm speaking as the person working on the data.
So wait, that's where HR, you're HR, right?
Yes.
Good. HR, you've carried the work on your head though. You've carried the work on your head. You're drinking on that person's Panadol. Yes, you're drinking the line manager's Panadol. You're not the person supervising the line manager. I mean, I don't like using the word subordinate. They are direct reports. They are support. Thank you so much. You're not the one supervising them. Someone came to you, a line manager, and said, I want you to send my people on effective communication training. And you had a conversation with the person that said it and those you want to send. You are not in their department. They are the ones that know what is happening. They are the ones talking about effective communication. And now, based on the conversations you had with both of them, you came up with data. What do you want to go and observe again in their department?
It still is a process. How I'm trying to explain that it's a last phase process just to ensure that every
Let me pause you now.
need has been
How
captured.
many departments do you have in your organization? How many staff? How many now? Maybe you have only 20 or 50. How many staff do you have?
But I'm not trying to say that.
Let me pause you.
Let me pause you. Okay.
We created this so that it can be scalable.
Okay.
An organization that has 7,000 staff, this thing you're saying will not work.
You might not be the only one to do it, but there's still room for that.
I need somebody that has a large organization. Oh, Bob, how many staff, please? Yes, please. 15,000. Over 13,000. How many would you go and observe this thing he's saying? It's practically what? Impossible. No, please use the mic.
It's practically impossible.
It's practically impossible. Why is it practically impossible? You say it can happen.
Okay, so, from my own point of view, first we need to, HR managers or L&D managers, first they have to see themselves as consultants.
Performance consultant.
Yes.
Please, can we give a round of applause to Stella? That's it. Performance consultant, yes.
Because really, just like she rightly said, how do you want to observe? If you don't put systems in place, you can't be everywhere. Practically, you can't be everywhere.
That's it.
Now, do you want to go about asking every individual on that team? It is not your team. For structured organizations, sometimes HR unit is seen as a support system. It's like they are like the centerpiece. You need to connect from the department to the executive management. Now, how do you want to go? They will somehow start seeing you as trying to put yourself into things that don't concern you. You need to be very strategic about it. Otherwise, they will water down your portfolio as HR manager.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now I'm speaking not as an HR person, I'm speaking as a data scientist. Now
you're speaking. Wait, Oga, wait. We like practical here.
This
You're
is very
speaking as a
practical.
data science.
Yes.
Okay,
so
please.
there are processes for data analysis. Before you begin to analyze data, you must ensure you go through those processes first before you begin the work. And one of the processes there is that you must observe. You might not be the one to do it, but there must be someone outside that department that will observe what they are doing. Otherwise, you might be getting biased data.
That can also be misconstrued as gossip.
It's not. You're not getting the picture.
No, see, we are in a work structure, right? A work system. People can misconstrue certain practices. So if there's a thin line between getting feedback and petty gossip, if you don't draw that line, it will be misconstrued.
Thank you so much, Stella. There's somebody here. There's somebody here. Then the person at the back. There's somebody here. I think Enoch, yeah?
Okay, so just my own view. As an L&D person, you are either internal or external. So if you're a consultant, for example, Mr. A HR approach to say, look, my people are having difficulty in terms of communication.
Use internal, please. We are not looking at consultants, we're looking at practitioners now. So this is
Okay.
HR and L&D in the organization.
So, yes, because I think I'm trying to understand where he's coming from. Even if you are internal, right, you L&D, you still have to understand the pain point of that department you want to actually deliver that training intervention for. Fine, you're getting data from them, but for every department, things also differs in terms of the modus operandi, the problem and the solutions they have to. So you need to understand a little bit what they do. And that's why for all L&D professionals, what will make you excel in that field is your vast knowledge across all different functions and departments.
But thank you so much. But Enoch, that is different from what we are talking about, what Stella has been saying. This is very germane. What you're saying is correct. We are talking about this, from where he said we need to go and observe after getting level 1, level 2, and level 1 and level 2 data, that we should go to those departments and observe. We are trying to see the practicability of an organization that has 13,000 staff.
Yeah, I'm just talking from two different angles.
Okay,
You understand?
thank you very much. The last person, please. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I wanted to speak in line with what he said. And for me, I think there are some departments or there are some units that are very critical to the organization, like they are a major part of the organization. For example, a manufacturing organization, right? For them, lean management is a big deal. Now, in that situation as L&D, there might be time that might be required for you to go and actually observe what is actually going on. Because sometimes, these managers are not even articulate. They don't even know how to put to words the problem. You send a survey to them, they give you some feedbacks, right? And then you try to analyze some of this information and realize that on the long run, they don't even understand what the problem really is based on the feedback they give to you. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. And then you also still reach back to maybe the reporting line or the support to also get insight from them about, to compare and check to get more insight.
Thank you very much.
And then you also find that there's a lot of misalignment, which is why for a very big organization, you can actually streamline that focus on critical units or critical roles within your organization. And then if it's a major part of the organization that actually has a major impact in their business, it's important that you might actually want to go in there and then observe what might be an issue.
There's a clear line between the manager's responsibility and your responsibility. In a case like what you've said, train your managers. So a lot of the things we do are actually the role and the part of the job of managers. So let's focus on training our managers so that they can in turn help us get the results that we need.
Thank you very much. Thank you. See, if you feel your managers don't know how to observe, they don't know how to gather data, they don't know how to get feedback, train them. Stop doing line managers' work. That is what people are doing in HR and L&D. Face your work. Your work is strategic. You're putting your nose inside everywhere. Face your work. You're not an operational people. You're strategic. You should have a seat at the table. How many of you have seats at the table? They will not give you any seat. If you sit down, if you by chance have a seat, they will break that seat. And when they're talking about things to impact the business, they will not call you HR. How many of you here will the organization and business call when they're talking about business decisions? Let me see your hands up, and I will face you on it. 1, 2, 3. Is that Joke? Joke, don't raise up your hand again. I know they will call you after 14 years. Because you're not talking about, you're just talking about operational things, activity. They will not call you. You've not finished your work, you're doing line manager work. You be over Sabi. Face your work, HR and L&D, and do what you're supposed to do. Stop doing the line manager's work. Performance management, you do it again. You are not to do that. You are just a support system. Let's not go into performance management now. You are a support system. Teach them how to use the models. Teach them how to use the framework. And allow them to do it. Don't come and do it for them. What's the first step? Conversation with the training sponsor. What's the second step? Conversation with those earmarked to attend the training. Yeah. The third step, root cause analysis, and the last step, need analysis. And please, who said, it's Michael that said that, don't bring 15 pages reports. Don't bring 10 pages even. It is too much. Go straight, what we call high-level summary, high-level report. If they want data, you can now do what? Attach.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so I just want to quickly ask, why do we need to identify gaps before we train when we can actually still train high flyers to do better in the business? Because it now seems as if, if I don't identify a gap, you don't need training. There are some organizations that are structured, whether there is a gap or not that have been identified, you have to go through, like in my organization, every staff is mandated at least 4 training in a year. If you don't achieve that as an individual and of course as a corporate body, that means you're not growing. Now, that is for a structured organization like mine. If there is no
now,
gap identified.
Let me pause you. You said something. Every staff is mandated to attend 4 trainings, at least 4 trainings every year. Now, if you want, before we talk about the gap, let's talk about gap. I'm going to talk about not having a gap, right? Because there are some persons that you just want them, there's a futuristic, and that's why, based on what is happening, let me use a very clear example. Those in technology. I have a client, every 3 months, they send their people on training. Every 3 months, because of the kind of thing they do. Because the technology they are using keeps changing. Now, what I taught them to do is, that new technology that comes out, what do you want these people that will go for it when it comes out? What do you want them to achieve? So you're already defining that. Not that we just have to 4 times. So let's go with 4 times in a year. Now, what can you do with that 4 times in a year? Let's use just 4. What do you do with those 4 times in a year? Like, you're supposed to go for training 4 times in a year. What do you do with it?
So, for instance, for every department, of course, their mode of operations differ.
Yes.
So, there are training needs that, whether it could be technical or operational, depending on the department.
Now, can we use, I want you to use a live example. We like being practical. Use a live example of a staff that went for 4 trainings in a year and tell us what are those 4 trainings and why they went for those 4 trainings.
Okay, so for instance, our payroll unit.
Good.
There are applications that come up all the time. Now, remember when I said 4 training, not necessarily within a particular area.
No, you said 4 trainings in a year.
Least.
At least. That's what I'm saying. Don't tell me payroll. Give me one person. Don't name the person. One person in the organization that has, let's use this year, we're already in November. That person has gone for 4 trainings in this year and tell us what were the trainings the person went for.
Let me use myself.
Thank you so much.
That was, this year, basically.
Good.
Between last year, I did my MBA in sustainability. I did...
MBA, is it a training? MBA is not a training.
Self-development.
No, I'm not talking about self-development. I'm talking about training. Training is different from that.
Okay.
So MBA is not a training.
I became the chief operating officer for one of our subsidiaries, January this year, before I assumed their portfolio. Even with the performances in the company, I was trained to fit into their portfolio. That's 1. 2, I was also trained, for instance, this is actually the 4th one, if I'm not mistaken, being here today. Is actually one of the trainings.
So let me stop. Let me pause you now. Please, we need to get the difference between training and learning. So training and development is different from learning and development. This conference you're doing is not a training. I hope you know that. We need to be clear. Wait, is conference a training?
Why is it not? I'm sorry, but why is it not? It's learning.
Now, please, you see, that means, wait, what is the difference between training and learning? Is there a difference? First of all, is there a difference? No. Is there a difference? I want to hear the difference. If you know there's a difference, raise up your hand.
No.
If you know there's a difference, raise up your hand. Hey, only one person, L&D and HR. Don't do chat GPT here. Oh. Don't open your phone. No chat GPT. Don't open your phone. Is there, no, don't learn now. Don't open your phone. No chat GPT. You will learn later. Is there a difference between training and learning?
I think training is more of a long-term thing, while learning is continuous. Learning is spontaneous and continuous.
So she said training is a long-term thing, while learning is continuous. That's what she said. The next person. Please, the mic is firing. This mic is not working, please. Now take it, yeah? It's working now, give her.
I think learning is continuous, just like she said.
No, that's not what she said. She said training is long term.
No, she also said learning.
And learning is continuous.
Yeah, learning is continuous. For example, what we are doing here is learning, not training. Training has to do more like to make you a professional in something, to make you like an expert. It doesn't have to be long or short. It can be long, it can be short, but you are focused on a specific skill. Take, for example, you are being trained to be a tailor. It's different from learning to be, I don't know. But
thank you so much. The next person, number 3. Then we go to GB4 and number 5 there.
So learning can also happen outside of training.
Excuse me, please, can we listen? Can we hear? Take that again. I want you to put your mic very close to your mouth.
So I'm saying learning can happen outside of training. So learning is not only inside training. Learning happens outside of training. From your experiences on job, you are learning.
Thank you so much. I will not say anything until we have the remaining 2 people. Number 4, GB, number 4.
All right. Training is the conscious set of activities you do to facilitate learning. Learning, on the other hand, is the exposure to experiences that can facilitate behavioral change.
Thank you so much. Thank you, GB. The last person is by your side, the 5th person. Sir, don't ask Chaji. Bellumi.
I would just piggyback off him by saying training is the way I see it. Training is what the organization does for me. Learning is what I do in response to that.
Thank you so much. Now, training is a subset of learning and development. Training and learning is not the same thing. It's just a component. Benedicta, please, can we give it up for Benedicta, please? Training is just a subset, and that is why you keep sending everybody on training, because you think training is learning. You can also learn through stories. You can also learn through observation. That is not training. Conference here is not training, it is learning. You are not in training, please. I've been hearing people say that. I don't want to say anything, but now people have broken the chair. Let me help you to break it very well. It is not, and I don't want to, there was something someone said, I don't want to, we are on camera, so I don't want to say some things. So please and please, HR and L&D, if you're not going to take anything out from this session, training is not learning. Rather, training is a part of learning. It's a subset and it's a component of learning. And that is why when you want to develop your people, learning and development, you could develop them through training, through coaching, through mentoring. Continue, you're listening. Bob here is listening. Through job rotation, through job shadowing, through observation. Those are all various forms of helping your people to learn and develop. Thank you.